Most companies operate on the basis of traditional MRP2 based systems. Now, these MRP2 based systems are data intensive. They have information about every resource in the organization, the time that every item takes on every resource, and they use this information. That's what MRP2 software does, is it uses this information to precisely plan when a particular piece of component has to reach what machine, and what is the exact time that the machine must take on that particular component, and where it must go next. Now, such planning is extremely data intensive. It needs a lot of information, and all that information has to be accurate. And a second problem for this, besides the need for accuracy, is that it creates an extraordinary level of dependency within the organization. And if one component takes excessive time on one resource, we face a possibility that the entire plan may collapse because of some sort of a domino effect, right? And that is where these MRP2 based tools become a little bit problematic. And that is where theory of constraints can help us make our life easier. So, theory of constraints has a very simple logic here, that the flow or the production or the output of any system or any business is dependent on the constraint or the resource with the lowest capacity. So what TOC does is they say, if we can find this resource with the lowest capacity and control and manage the flow of components through this resource of lowest capacity, well, we would be able to manage the flow in the whole organization. And so, TOC, or theory of constraints, reduces the problem of managing the flow through the entire factory to that of managing the flow through just the resource bottleneck or just the constraint. And this idea of flow is applicable to all kinds of organizations. So an insurance company can be assumed to be a flow of insurance policies, insurance payments, and insurance quotes. A hospital can be assumed to be a flow of prescriptions, a flow of data and information of various kinds related to the patient and accounting. And if we start looking at businesses as flows, theory of constraints can be applied to improving or controlling the flow through any kind of system, whether manufacturing or service.